In this high-stakes, in-camera hearing, the court convenes to discuss a motion for certification of jurisdiction filed by a petitioner raising profound constitutional and equitable questions. Joining the Chief Justice and Magistrate Judge are an equity chancellor, the Attorney General, and a special master, each bringing their expertise to ensure justice is served with the highest degree of equity and efficiency.
Magistrate, thank you for initiating this discussion. The petitioner's motion is compelling, raising critical questions about Article 3 jurisdiction, the Seventh Amendment, and equity jurisprudence. Let's begin by addressing the core issue. Why is the petitioner so insistent on certification of jurisdiction?
Your Honor, the petitioner argues that the bankruptcy court, as an Article 1 court, lacks the constitutional authority to adjudicate matters involving core constitutional rights, particularly property rights under the 5th and 14th Amendments. They've also raised concerns about the 7th Amendment's guarantee of a trial by jury, which they claim was nullified by the referral to the bankruptcy court.
That's a weighty argument. The distinction between Article 1 and Article 3 courts is foundational, but it's not often litigated with such specificity. Do you think the petitioner has a valid point about the bankruptcy court's limitations?
I do, Your Honor. Article 3 courts are designed to handle constitutional questions and protect individual rights in a way that Article 1 courts simply aren't equipped to do. The petitioner's argument about the 7th Amendment is particularly compelling. If the controversy exceeds $20 in value, which it clearly does here, the right to a trial by jury is preserved. By referring the matter to the bankruptcy court, the petitioner was arguably deprived of that right.
That's a strong argument, but let's not forget that bankruptcy courts often handle complex property disputes. Isn't there a counter-argument that the referral was appropriate given the nature of the claims?
There is, Your Honor. However, the petitioner has raised constitutional challenges to the Federal Reserve operating circulars, arguing that they are unconscionable and violate their rights. These are not typical bankruptcy issues. They are constitutional questions that fall squarely within the purview of an Article 3 court.
Your Honor, if I may, the petitioner's use of equity maxims is quite sophisticated. The invocation of equity will not suffer a wrong to be without a remedy is particularly apt here. Certification of jurisdiction would indeed provide a remedy for what appears to be a denial of the petitioner's constitutional rights.
Chancellor, do you see any potential pitfalls in granting this motion from an equity standpoint?
The primary concern, Your Honor, is ensuring that the remedy aligns with the principles of fairness and justice. Certification of jurisdiction is a procedural remedy, but it must also serve the substantive ends of equity. If the petitioner's claims are as meritorious as they appear, then certification is not only appropriate, but necessary. However, we must also consider the potential for setting a precedent that could flood Article 3 courts with similar motions.
That's a valid concern, Chancellor. From the government's perspective, certifying jurisdiction in this case could have significant monetary implications. If the petitioner's constitutional challenges to the Federal Reserve operating circulars are successful, it could open the door to similar claims, potentially destabilizing certain financial systems.
Attorney General, could you elaborate on those monetary implications?
Certainly. The petitioner's claims involve property rights and constitutional challenges to federal financial regulations. If this court certifies jurisdiction and the petitioner prevails, it could lead to a wave of litigation challenging the validity of other federal financial instruments. This could result in substantial financial liabilities for the government and private entities alike.
That's a weighty consideration. But surely the government's financial interests cannot override the petitioner's constitutional rights.
Of course not, Your Honor. My role is simply to ensure that the court is fully informed of the potential consequences. The government respects the rule of law and the importance of protecting constitutional rights. However, we must also consider the broader impact of this decision on the stability of our financial systems.
Magistrate, before we adjourn, I believe it's time to bring in the special master we discussed earlier. Their role will be critical in ensuring this matter is resolved effectively and equitably.
Agreed, Your Honor. Welcome, Special Master. Could you explain your role in this matter and how you intend to approach it?
Thank you, Magistrate, and thank you, Your Honor, for entrusting me with this important role. As Special Master, my primary responsibility is to assist the court in managing the complexities of this case, ensuring that it is resolved in a manner that is efficient, prudent, and consistent with the highest principles of equity jurisprudence. My role can be broken down into several key functions. First, case management. I will oversee the procedural aspects of the case, ensuring that all parties adhere to the court's timelines and directives. This includes coordinating discovery, managing filings, and facilitating communication between the parties. Second, expert guidance. Given the complex constitutional and financial issues at play, I will provide the court with expert analysis and recommendations. This may involve consulting with financial experts, constitutional scholars, and other specialists to ensure that the court has all the information it needs to make informed decisions. Third, equity oversight. I will ensure that the principles of equity jurisprudence are upheld throughout the proceedings. This includes applying equity maxims such as equity will not suffer a wrong to be without a remedy, and equity delights in equality to guide the resolution of disputes and the crafting of remedies. Fourth, jury trial preparation. If the case proceeds to a jury trial, I will assist in preparing the jury to understand the complex issues involved. This may include developing clear instructions, organizing expert testimony, and ensuring that the trial is conducted fairly and efficiently. And lastly, mediation and settlement. Where appropriate, I will facilitate mediation between the parties to explore the possibility of a settlement. This can save time and resources while still achieving a just and equitable outcome. Special Master, how do you see your role interacting with the other participants in this hearing?
Your Honor, I see my role as complementary to the efforts of the Magistrate, the Equity Chancellor, and the Attorney General. I will work closely with the Magistrate to ensure that the procedural aspects of the case are handled smoothly. I will consult with the Equity Chancellor to ensure that equitable principles are properly applied, and I will coordinate with the Attorney General to address any concerns related to the government's interests and the broader implications of the case. Special Master, I'm particularly interested in how you plan to apply equity maxims in this case. Can you give us an example? Certainly, Chancellor. Take the maxim, equity follows the law. In this case, I will ensure that any equitable remedies we propose are consistent with constitutional principles and statutory requirements. For example, if we recommend certifying jurisdiction, it will be because doing so aligns with Article 3 of the Constitution and the 7th Amendment, not just because it seems fair in the abstract.
Special Master, how do you plan to address the potential monetary implications of this case?
Attorney General, I will work closely with financial experts to assess the potential impact of any decision on the government and private entities. If the case proceeds to a jury trial, I will ensure that the jury is fully informed about the financial implications of their verdict. Additionally, I will explore alternative remedies that could mitigate any negative financial consequences while still protecting the petitioner's constitutional rights.
Thank you, Special Master. Your dedication and expertise are greatly appreciated. Magistrate, please proceed with drafting the order, incorporating the Special Master's role as we've discussed. This has been an exceptionally productive discussion, and I'm confident that with the Special Master's assistance, we will resolve this matter in a manner that upholds the highest principles of equity and justice.
In this landmark hearing, the court demonstrates its commitment to balancing constitutional rights, equitable principles, and systemic stability. With the Special Master's guidance, justice will be served with the highest degree of integrity and fairness.